Well, each day, federal investigators are arresting more people associated with the Capitol riots. And with just 3 days until President-elect Joe Biden is inaugurated, the subject of President Trump's impeachment is also picking up steam. So for a breakdown of the legal issues taking center stage in the run-up to the inauguration, we welcome criminal defense attorney David Weinstein. He's partner at Hinshaw Culbertson LLP, as well as former assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida. David, thank you for joining us tonight.
You're welcome. Good evening, Nicole.
Well, good evening. What are your thoughts on this ongoing investigation into the Capitol riots, and just how long do you think we'll continue to see arrests?
What we've seen so far have been individual arrests. There have been a couple of people who have been filed charges together in a conspiracy, but we haven't seen that larger conspiracy encompassing more than just a couple of individual actors. I expect in the days to come, we'll start to see some indictments coming down where 2 or more or even 10 people are charged together, and they're looking at a much larger scope of the conspiracy. And that's when we can expect to see some of the people who incited some of these individuals to engage in their unlawful activity also be charged.
I know you said those indictments may be coming down. We know, according to law enforcement records that we do have access to, some people who've been arrested say that they were inspired by the president. So really, what is President Trump's criminal liability, if any, in what happened at the Capitol?
You have to look at the words that he said when he was speaking out to the crowd that had gathered in front. And what he said was, go down, march, I'll join you. Was he telling them to simply go down and express their viewpoints and make their First Amendment issues known? Or was he telling them to go down and stop what he had called the steal, to stop the process that was taking place, to engage in activity that put them forcefully into the Capitol building, and in some instances was encouraging them to commit acts against those people who were in power? The question is going to be, can they prove that that's what he intended to do? And those people on the other end who acted on his words, are they going to say, well, the president asked me to do something, to do his bidding? It's fine to do his bidding, but not to do his bidding if it's an illegal act.
All right, and David, the president has already granted a number of pardons, which he is able to do. Is it possible President Trump could pardon those that have been arrested and charged before he leaves office Wednesday?
Absolutely. Wednesday morning or Tuesday evening, he can write out the list of all of these individuals who we've seen charged so far, either by criminal complaint or those who haven't even been arrested yet, and he can grant them a full pardon. That's his right and prerogative as president of the United States. It's something many have encouraged him not to do, but he's a man of his own mind. And it's something we may very well see him do in the early morning hours of Wednesday as he's exiting the White House.
All right, well, let's transition to President Trump's impending impeachment trial. We do know Senator Lindsey Graham is asking that Senate vote to cancel the trial altogether. So what do you think? Do you think this impeachment trial will proceed, and what are the implications if it does, or if it in fact does not happen?
They don't have the votes to cancel it, especially with the change in the balance of power that's coming forward. So it's going to go forward. It's not going to go forward in the way or shape that either side expects it to go. And quite frankly, by the time it does go forward, Trump will no longer be president. So it's going to be a question of not only convicting him of the impeachment charges, but rather to ensure that once convicted, he's also fined from not holding another public office, which is something that, quite frankly, some of the Republicans are very interested in doing, if not an outright conviction on the impeachment, but rather making sure he can't hold public office again.
All right, criminal defense attorney David Weinstein, thank you for your time tonight.
You're welcome.